On today's Wine Walk, I'm joined by the legend, Herschel Walker.
Legend?
You know, and just speaking the truth.
That's very sweet.
Who, as it turns out, is my neighbor, more or less.
I know.
Yeah,
You don't
didn't know
come
that.
Visit.
Didn't even know that.
Visit. Yeah.
So you are pretty much single-handedly responsible for making the Cowboys the dynasty they were in the 90s and making me, in turn, have to deal with obnoxious, crazy, stupid fans every day of my life for the first 18 years of my life. What do you have to say about that?
Well, see, I would love to take all that credit, but I have to give it to Jim and Jerry because they put together something that was absolutely incredible. And I tell people, you know, even though they got a lot of draft picks, but you still got to coach those guys. You still got to put them in the right position, and that's what they did. And I've said it many times. I thought Jerry Jones was one of the finest owners in the NFL, and I think Jimmy Johnson was one of the finest coaches. That if I ever own a team, I would want to get Jimmy Johnson advice for it because I respect them for that much. And I thought they put together something that was absolutely incredible.
But you don't take credit for it.
I don't take credit for it because, you know, I just was traded as an athlete, but they put it together. And like you said, you know, people don't give them the credit they deserve. And you can get all the athletes you want, but you still got to make them play. You know, and I tell people all the time, athletes can look like Superman during practice, but if they play like a Barbie doll, that's no good to you. And you can have all the great athletes, but they still got to play the game.
Because of the way you grew up and because obviously money wasn't something you could just throw around, you actually never lifted weights?
No, I haven't. I didn't lift weights.
Ever?
You know, I never have. I didn't grow up with weights, and my mom always said don't use certain things as excuses not to be able to accomplish things. And you know, I knew that we couldn't afford weights in my hometown, so I started doing push-ups and sit-ups and pull-ups and all that. But I saw results from it, and I started believing in that. And I tell people, you gotta believe in what you do. You know, sometimes people say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this," but they don't really believe it. Well, I believed in the push-ups and sit-ups that worked for me, and it has carried me for over 50-something years. I'm able to compete at the highest level, not just in my state or in my country, or in the world. I'm able to compete at the world level in almost anything I ever set out to do. And I think it's because I believe that that workout I was doing has worked for me.
And you still do 1,500 push-ups and 3,500 sit-ups every day.
Every day. I still do it, and the reason I do it is, and I tell people all the time, there may be some kid.
I would make you, I kind of want to see you do it, but
we can do a couple of push-ups.
But you're going to do it on the concrete?
Yeah, people be passing by saying, what are they doing out here like right now?
Just getting your fitness on, that's all.
Well, that's exactly right. Now, I ought to make all of them stop and do some push-ups because, not to be mean, but we're one of the most obese countries in the world, so we ought to start waving people down and making them do push-ups.
That's exactly what we should do.
Nowadays, people get upset about stuff. They have that road rage, so we probably don't want to do that.
You knocked the shit out of two guys when you were fighting in the MMA, knocked them out completely, and you were how old?
Oh.
Do we not want to talk about it?
25. I'm older than average bear. Yeah, but you know, that's what you're supposed to do, and that's why I tell people, that was the objection of this sport. And I tell people, I don't want to hug you before I compete against you. I don't think we ought to be friends if I'm going to go out and I'm going to beat you up. Why in the world I'm going to hug you when I'm going to go beat you up? Now, when I'm finished, then I may show the sportsmanship, but when I'm getting ready to compete, I don't want to hug you. I don't want to be your friend. This is competition. I want to win. And I tell people this all the time, you know, when I was with the Cowboys, when I was with any other team, if we lost, I didn't sleep. I didn't eat. I don't eat well. I don't sleep well.
You don't like to lose?
No, I don't like to lose. Cause, I don't train. You think at that time, I was doing almost 5,000 push-ups every day, 5,000 sit-ups. I'm going to do all those push-ups and sit-ups just to lose. And I tell people, I'm tired of hearing that about it's okay to lose. In professional sport, no one is paid to lose. Football games, basketball games, baseball games. So to have that mentality is a loser. And no one should ever think that they're paid to lose. And if they do, if I was the owner, I'd get rid of them.
Well, Herschel, we're done with our walk here, but I will tell you that I take back my original comment. I forgive you for what you did for the Cowboys because you don't take credit for it, so I can't hold you accountable for it.
We got to give credit to Jim and Jerry So they put it together, and I'm gonna give credit to them. And all the players that came out and played, they did it. I don't know. They haven't given me a ring or nothing, so I can't take it.
They should have at least given you
They
like
should've
an
gave me
honorary
something.
ring. Like would have been the right thing to
Put me
do.
up somewhere. I got nothing.
Jerry, send this man some rings. 3 in the
Yeah.
90s, and he gets nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Damn shame. So we couldn't do push-ups on the street, but that doesn't mean we can't do them inside. White P challenged Herschel Walker to push-ups. Okay, not the smartest choice, but let's go.
I don't believe it. Everyone says this guy can do so many push-ups.
I only can do 2.
Okay, all right, we'll see.
First
and 2. How's my form?
Oh, you look good.
All right.
Hit the button down. Ready?
All right, ready? Yeah.
Go.
Hey, I'll take it.